Alright, welcome back to the Maladjusted Monkeys podcast. I'm Tommy Archer, joined always by my favourite co-host. Some of you may consider him the voice of the show. Some of you may consider him the face of the show. If you are one of these people, you're lying to yourself and you should wake up yourself and stop it immediately. It's Shane Clark.
I'm going to have to turn your volumes down again.
Oh, why? Am I too high?
No, just cut you out.
I'm getting sick of it.
Yeah.
Mate, good to be back in a new setting.
Yeah, the old studio's gone. I've got to be out of there on the 6th of July. So
anyone watching on YouTube or you've seen our pictures on Instagram, you'll see we're at the Brilliant White Studio, which we're going to be using for a little while.
Yeah,
so it's a good
cool spot.
I'm happy. And today's a good episode. We've got one of our good mates on who we've known since the early army days back at 6RAR. He has now come full circle after leaving the military quite a few years ago and now works for Mates4Mates, which we're going to discuss. Leighton Muller. Thanks
Good to be here. Thanks. Good to be here.
And you've donned double denim as we all have today. It's a double denim themed party.
Double denim dad day.
Double denim dad day. And I'm loving the boots, dude.
Thanks.
I'm going to have to take separate photos, put them on.
Try and hide them.
No, it's good. It's good. Mate, as you know, with most of our military guests, the first thing I want to know is when did you join the army and why did you join the army? That's what we're going to start off with, as we always do.
All right. Joined straight out of high school. Little shaved redhead kid. 18 years old. Pretty much the March after I finished high school, did a couple of things, joined in. Went to Grunts, went to 6RAR in 09 and got out officially from whoever leaves the chocks. No, I think I still am a reservist. 2014.
I consider you a reservist when you were in, mate, full time, so to be honest.
Getting paid to do nothing. So, got out in 2014. Just that's all I wanted to do as a kid.
So it was instilled in you early age.
I was running around with Vegemite on my face with plastic guns that you get from the Ekka in your show bag.
Was anyone in your family in the military?
Cousin was in. One of my older cousins. He was up at, I think it was 2RAR. My uncle, he was a reservist for years. But apart from that, not until like Dad's granddad or something. So
yeah.
It's funny when all three of us were in 6 together. I don't really remember hanging out with you or talking to you all that much. Like we knew each other.
Yeah.
And I knew you were like the king of banter. I don't know if you remember Shane. Like anytime, you'd always have, the infantry or the military is very much like high school. Right? You have sports days and things like that.
Click groups and
groups. And I'd always remember whenever we had the big sports days, Lado would always have the megaphone.
And the giraffe mask.
And it was just banter and making fun of people and getting on everyone's nerves. I remember you were the guy everyone wanted to beat the shit out of.
Yeah.
Purely because you were giving smack talk to everyone.
Yep.
And that's my memory of you. Were you a good soldier? I can't answer it. Okay?
Maybe at the start. Not towards the end. I just,
Yeah. And then I think you and me didn't really start speaking till after.
Yeah, I think it was when we were doing cop stuff, I think, or when you were cops and...
Yeah. We'll get into that. We will get into that. It's an interesting story in itself. So all up, how long did you do in the military?
I think it was 6 years. 7 years.
2014.
Yeah.
Okay. Your time in, how did you find it? First of all, did you deploy?
Yeah, I went to East Timor in 2012 when you guys went on MTF5.
Yep.
Always had injuries around crucial times for trips, like did my ankle when MTF1 was on, did my ankle again when we were doing the driver's course for MTF5, so I didn't get that. And just always hurt myself.
Yeah.
So, which was never ideal.
That's
but
like Ben Vitnell or Josh Curtis.
Yeah.
Whenever the trips were on. And that's a tale that always gets retold. So many people. A trip would come up and you'd be either recovering from an injury or during training you get injured. So you did your Timor trip. And how long did you do there?
Oh, it was only a couple of months so that the chocks could have their rest on combat leave or whatever, the rockle.
Yep.
We pretty much just infilled their bases, went to the beach, had massages, and just, we literally carried a pistol, but we were allowed to leave the base whenever we could. So it was a holiday.
So it was essentially Call of Duty.
Yeah. So it was good. Got to meet locals, take some orphanage kids to the beach, and pretty much like I don't even know. It wasn't a deployment, but we got a medal out of it, so that's all right.
There you go. Cash money?
Yeah, good cash.
Yeah. So your time, when you look at a deployment from start to finish, everything, how do you reflect on your time in the army?
So it was like when we first got in, it was you're bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and you're keen to hit the ground. We had good dudes with us. We had good operators that were in our sections. And then, after 2010, a lot of those guys got out.
It was a pretty exciting time when we got to 6 because they were, like, you know, always on the brink of going on the trips to Afghan. And
and your senior diggers were senior diggers, and your secos had done 3 or 4 trips, and you were learning. And then after that, kind of mass exodus, and then it was like we kind of had to step up, but we had no one above us. So you had full tracks that had done no trips, like it was, I don't know. And then the whole rank structure changed, higher up changed, and it wasn't about working hard and getting rewarded. It was about doing dumb stuff.
Oh, really?
And staying back late or just pointless training. And
that certain officers could get ticks in the boxes for their career.
Oh, who knows? But it wasn't about working hard and getting rewarded for it. It was, just by the end of it, it was just pointless training. We'd go and do X's because there was no trips on the horizon. And it was, all right, train hard, fight easy, and then stay back on a Friday looking for AA batteries that Boothie lost up at the bayonet assault course. So, yeah.
Shout out to Boothie. Haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, Sergeant Booth.
Old bent back Booth at 8'9" now. So, but just stuff like that was not, I don't know if they weren't, I don't know.
Yeah, well, because we left before
2012.
Yeah, before that kind of all happened. And you're talking about senior digs and everything. When we all got to the unit, majority of the unit was overseas in Afghanistan. And that was, the big deployment in TF1 where a lot of stuff happened overseas and a lot of, a few guys got killed. And while they were away, I remember we kind of ran the place in a way.
Yeah.
You had all these people who had just come out of training, all of a sudden running this unit. For quite a few months, like 6-7 months. Yeah. And we probably got a little bit too comfortable.
I do remember thinking, I cannot wait till the guys get back from
and then all the guys that have just come back from war get back. And we were putting our face.
That dynamic changed very quickly.
Quick, didn't it? Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah. And it's just like, I'm head of the section now. And it's like, oh, hang on, there's a dude come back with three combat tours and now he's the boss. And it's like, But it was good because then we were kind of filtered back in and then we could hide a bit more. Yeah. And that's when we started doing good training. Yeah. I remember when the guys got back, I got put in, my section commander was Dan Kieran. Yeah, nice. This is before he was Victoria Cross recipient. But
always name dropping.
Yeah, but you know, mate, I get around a bit, mate. I don't know if you've got the people. Yeah. Met Dan Pronk the other day, no biggie. But I remember when I got put in his section, it was me and Steely, and the rest of the section had all just got back from Afghan, and I was so nervous because I'm like, do these guys hate us? Like, I know nothing really. And Dan was really good, taking us like, look, I know there's a lot of hate on you guys. Yeah. Because we've all just got back. Don't listen to it. Like, our job now is to get you guys to the standard so you guys can go over and do your tour. So that was good that there were guys that were still like that.
Still professional.
Not everyone hated us. It wasn't our fault. We didn't join the army.
Yeah.
Because that attitude was, oh, you weren't overseas. Where were you?
Yeah. You know? Oh, you haven't done a trip. Oh, righto. Yeah. Fresh from Singo. Oh, show us your Pams. Yeah.
Exactly.
But, I mean, it's kind of to be expected. When you spend that long overseas like that in such close confines, you become such good mates. Yeah. Like, it's very hard to get out of that social circle. Yeah. Even relate to people who hadn't had that experience yet. So
that's war. Yeah. You know? And that's that warrior culture. Yeah. So why did you pull the trigger on leaving in 2014?
Just got to that point where I was going to work, coming home, and I was just, like we were saying before, I was just angry for no reason. Like, I don't know, the circle was just, it was a circle that you were going around in circles and there was no foreseeable outcome of trying to, let's work towards something. So it was just the same monotonous, go to work, come home, not enjoy it. So I guess pulled the pin on it and kind of was like, I've got to do something. I can't keep doing this. Otherwise you just get stagnant. You get more jaded than I already was. And it was reflecting on soldiering, I guess. Like, I just turned into someone that didn't want to be there, just let the standards slip. And then younger dudes were not necessarily starting to notice it, but like
Like the jadedness.
I was a 2IC and I should have been better than what I was. But then you get like, I guess I pulled the pin, cut it at that. Whereas you guys know people stay in and then they just turn into like sack sergeants and like, and because the army's all they know. They're too scared to get out.
When you rattle off names of guys that we know and you tell me they're still in, I'm like, how?
Yeah.
Why? You know? I'm not saying they're bad soldiers or anything like that. Well, the ones we know are really good soldiers. So.
Yeah.
But it's guys that I know that are capable of going on to do other things outside the army. But I'm surprised that they're still there.
And I don't know whether it's because they're comfortable or they're scared that that's all they know, or some of them do love it and they're good dudes.
Yeah.
Like some of the boys that are sergeants now and getting made up to woes and stuff, they're just good career soldiers.
Crazy. To think of the guys we went through with like becoming warrant officers.
Yeah. Well, one of the boys, we did an info night the other night at 6RR and one of the boys is the heavy sarge there now and he was on my heavies course as a dig.
Wow.
But that's one in 30.
Yeah.
Like I did not know anyone, but that's the thing. From when I got out to now, someone could have come in after us, done a full Rozzo and gotten out.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't even know.
Yeah.
Well, that's like with my role training with the police, we get recruits come through, and there was one recently who told me, I was at 6RAR. But I'm like, oh, what years? He's done a full Rozzo.
Yeah.
But in my head, I didn't leave the army that long. I'm like, how have I never met you?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, well, it's 2021. I got out in 2013. That's easily how I haven't met you.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, like you said, they do a whole Rozzo, which is 4 years. For anyone who doesn't know, like when you start in the military, primarily if you join the infantry, your contract is 4 years. So you have to do 4 years service. And after that, then you can make the decision to discharge if you want. It's interesting you said, guys struggle with getting out because that's all they know. With you, Shane, obviously the first time when you got out and you decided to get back in, I think, did you say that one of the main reasons you got back in is because that is what you know?
Yeah. And just still having my identity so closely tied to the military and just feeling that I had no purpose outside of army and you just get so comfortable every day working with your mates and you just miss that so much. And a lot of guys it happens to you later. Ever since I've really known you don't strike me as someone who's struggled with that too much, that identity or struggling leaving the army. When you left, did you have a plan of what you were going to do?
Oh, so I'd already got the ball rolling in joining QPS.
Yep.
So that was my end goal. I kind of got out, started working with a hire mob that a friend got me a job as an interim till I could get into QPS. So I had that initial kind of light at the end of the tunnel. I just got to fill this gap, which I did, and then went on to that. But yeah, a lot of guys, you see it, they get so off it that they get out and they have no plan and they sit around, do nothing. They're used to being told what to do every day.
Yeah, that's right. It's an easy lifestyle.
And for some people, it is scary getting out, because you go from every day, you know what you're doing, you've got a plan to, hang on here, I don't have to go to work if I don't want to. I can just call in sick from home. The first time I called in sick, I was faking it, obviously. I was just like, I've been up all night with the squirts. I can't come in. And then I ended up going fishing that night with a mate. And he put it on socials. And my boss the next week was just like, so what happened last week? And I was like, I wasn't feeling good. And he's like, but you went fishing that night. And I was like, I had a good day, rested up, hydrolytes. I was good to go.
What did he say? No good?
Nah, he was all right with it. But that's why you get sick leave.
Yeah, well, it's when you're in the army, if you're sick, true military fashion, you could be really fucking sick and the army's like, fucking prove it.
Yeah, come in.
So you've got to come in. If you live on base, it's easier, but it's you've got to come in, go see the army doctor, and even the army doctor's like, fucking prove it.
They triage you, so you got to see a nurse. You got to wait in the waiting room to start with all the other sacks. And then, so you got a room of just sick people. And then you've got to go see someone and they go, you're pretty sick. Go back to the waiting room and then we'll get you into a doctor. And then by that happens, half your day's gone already. Yeah. So you're like, what's having a good rest in bed? I should have just come to work and just skived and slept in one of the boys' rooms. But and Now you can just go, oh yeah, no, I'm sick, I'm not coming in.
Yeah. Well, I remember thinking that when I got to the civvy world as well. Not that I'd ever go sick, obviously. But it was like, wait, I can call someone and just say I'm sick, and they're going to take my word for it.
Yeah.
There is no follow-up.
I'm feeling guilty here, but I'm allowed to.
This makes no sense. Like, surely someone wants me to come in so they can actually see that I'm sick.
Yeah. Or do I need a doctor's certificate? No, don't worry about it. Right. Oh, hang on. Oh, okay.
Yeah. More than 2 days, give us a certificate if you want. If not too much trouble.
And then you go to a doctor and he will just write you one anyway. And you're like,
yeah, that's the other thing. I'm like,
this is easy.
I'll tell you I'm sick, and he's like, cool, how long do you need off?
Yeah.
I don't know. What are my options here?
How long should I have off?
yeah, you're the professional. I remember you'll remember this. So it was after we got back from Afghan, I needed to get some medical stuff done. And one of them was getting my wisdom teeth pulled out. And you and me had tickets for State of Origin that night.
Oh, yeah.
And I'd never really had never feared a dentist or anything, had no issues with them at all. And I remember everyone said, you're getting your wisdom teeth out the day that you got these Origin tickets. I'm like, yeah, is that going to be an issue? And everyone said, oh, no, I had my wisdoms out. I was eating steak that night. And I'm thinking, okay, so this should be okay then. No issues. I go in. I don't know whether it was like a brand new dentist or whatever, but they kept giving me anaesthetic and they're trying to pull the first one out. And nothing's happening. And he kept going off talking to this bloke, coming back in, another needle, have another crack. Then they go out and another guy comes in and he stands behind me in the chair. And I'm thinking, I'm starting to get a little bit sore. And the dentist goes, this is when I knew something was up, because he goes, hey, Tom, how you going, mate? I'm thinking, yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm going all right. Like, you tell me what we're doing. He's like, so I want to... Mate, you're doing really well. I'm like, okay.
Alarm bells ringing.
Yeah, alarm bells are ringing. And he's like, so we're just having a few issues getting that first tooth out. How you feeling, mate? Are you feeling any pain? I said, yeah, I can feel a little bit of, like, when you touch my gums, I can start to feel it. He's like, okay, look, unfortunately, we can't give you any more anaesthetic, but we're going to have to rip this tooth out, okay? Do you think you can hang in there, mate? And I'm like, talking to me like I'm a kid, and I'll get a lollipop at the end. But yeah, no worries. So the guy behind me locks his forearm around my forehead onto the chair. And then I don't know what tool they use. It looked like pliers. Yeah. Grab the tooth. I can hear the crunching of the tooth. He fucking rips it out. I can feel like the anaesthetic's still there, but I can still feel most of it. I'm screaming. Tears coming down my face. They rip it out. And then like, mate, we're not going to do any more today. That's it. I'm like, cool. They're like, how you feeling? You all right? I'm like, yeah, not too bad. They go, go home, have some Panadols or whatever, and you should be right. So you pick me up to drop me home. It's about 12 o'clock now. Game kicks off at 7. And I remember saying to him, man, I don't feel that bad, eh? I have a quick nap. Can you pick me up in about 3 hours and we're good to go? Yeah, no worries. So you leave me at my house. I wake up 3 hours later and my whole face is swollen. I'm in excruciating pain. So I couldn't go to the game, obviously. But the next day, I woke up. Pain was even worse. Face had swelled up even more. Like my eye was shut because of the cheek. And I'm thinking, I can't go to work today. But I've still got to go into work to prove it. So I drive in, almost in tears from the pain.
Yes,
do you remember this? I drive in and there was nowhere to park, right? The only park that was left was for the QE sergeant. Yeah. So Q store, they have all our weapons and all our kit, basically. Like an admin kind of clerk guy. So I parked in that spot, which was right next to the doctor. Okay. And I park in that. I go see my boss, and he looks at me and goes, oh, fuck, dude, what's wrong? Are you all right? Do you need an ambulance or anything? I'm like, I've got to go to the doctor so they can sign off. I can't be here. I've got to have time off. Yep, no worries. They take me over there. I go to the doctor's. I come back to my car. The QE sergeant has parked his car, he's parked me in, and he's getting changed in his car. And he sees me. He's like, you can see that I'm fucked up. Yeah. He's like, is this your fucking car? And I'm like, yeah, Sergeant. He goes, who died and made you the fucking king of this place? And I remember I lost it. Yeah. And I was like, look at my fucking face. You tell me there's nothing wrong with it. And I start screaming at him and he backs up and he quickly moves his car out of the way. And I get in my car and drive off. So I'm like, really? It had to come to that. Yeah. You can tell I'm fucked up. But hey, that's the army for you.
I was lucky I went under the knife, so they sent me to a private hospital and got all 4 out at once. So I don't remember anything.
Yeah, well, in hindsight, I probably shouldn't have trusted a military dentist, but hey, it's free.
Yeah. Oh, well, mine was when I was in too. Yeah. The duty wheels dropped me there, duty wheels picked me up.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Don't remember anything. I think I was eating mashed potato that night.
No steak, though?
Nah, no steak.
Yeah, you lied to me. If it was you.
I've had mine out.
So, sorry, we got off track there. Talking about promises the army makes you. So you're talking about how your QPS application was in. Let's talk about that experience.
Yeah, so...
Now, remember, I still work for the QPS, so tread lightly.
So most people, well, I don't know who listens, but if you are in the QPS, you will know me from the social media brief for what not to do when you get in. So, got into the academy, was going smooth sailing, got along with everyone, hitting the targets. Got towards the end, had my station, we were ready to march out.
You got that far, I didn't know.
Yeah, I was sitting my final exam the next day, and they
So this was all like you got through the whole training.
pretty much. I was two and a half weeks away from finishing. Called me into the office, and I was like, "Yeah, what's going on here?" And then had this printout of this A4 piece of paper, and they put it on the table, and they said, "Oh, explain this." And it was a photo I'd taken with some friends, and I put it in a group chat. And it didn't sit right with some people.
Are you able to describe?
There's a police belt buckle in the picture.
So you can imagine...
Torso area.
I appreciate your candor.
So no identifying features, so no tattoos, nothing. You couldn't tell it was me, apart from the fact that I owned up to it. And they said, look, you can...
Well, I'm going to say, look, I haven't seen the photo, but I can imagine if I asked you to take your cap off, looked up there.
No, it was probably as smooth as the walls around here, you know what I mean? Like that. But yeah, so they said, look, you got two options. You can leave today, come back in a while, or we're going to boot you and you never come back. And I was like, yeah, you know what? I'll just leave.
Yep.
So kind of like we're getting back to people leaving the Defence Force with no plan. I pretty much was out on my own then and there with no job the next day.
Mate.
Having to tell my old girl why I wasn't at the academy anymore. So, but yeah, so everyone got along with everyone.
How did you? So, what was the time between leaving the army and starting at the academy?
I think it was 6 months. About 6 months.
That was roughly same as me, and I've told the story on the podcast many times of the struggles I had with going from military culture into the academy, where you're working with, essentially you're all civilians still at this point.
Mm.
And I struggled with not getting along, but being in a new culture. Did you ever have that?
So I got some wise words from an old friend's dad who's a detective, I think he still is, which I obviously didn't listen to. And he said, it's not a boys' club like you're used to in the RAR. People will stab you in the back to better themselves. And I was like, oh, yeah. Through the academy, got along with everyone, made some good mates. We had some RAR boys there. And yeah, we just didn't get along with some people. And that turned out to be that some germ threw me under the bus to better his career. And now he's an OIC out west somewhere.
Oof.
So,
right.
He was a sack. I know your name. But we'll leave it at that. But yeah, so it's not like it could be so much better than what it is if everyone worked well together, I guess.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, so that was that. Kind of finished that little chapter of my life and then went back to luckily I didn't burn my bridges with my previous employer, so they had me back, which is good. And then a mate came in, he said, oh, I know how much you hate working for this mob, why don't you come and labour for us as a chippy? And then, went from there.
So how long, so you went straight into a trade essentially? Yeah,
so was back at this hire mob for probably another 6 months, 7 months, and then went in and started my trade as a chippy.
Yep.
So, and then did that for the next 4.5 years, got qualified as a carpenter. So,
yep. And then, so how long have you done that for?
So I finished that at the start of this year. So that was 5 years all up.
Yep.
As a chippy. So,
and I know in that 5 years, like you and me maybe spoke about primarily the last 2 years of you considering, you kept asking me, should I go back into the QPS?
Yeah.
Because the time's kind of come up to where you could apply again.
Yeah. And I had the trade background, so I was like, right, I'll tick that box. So I could go back and then I've got something to fall back on. And I think it's the same with people like, oh, I miss the army, I miss the comradeship. Like, that's all I kind of knew. Like, I miss the boys club. And I think that was the only reason why I wanted to go back to the QPS for like the adrenaline hit kind of.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, I don't want to work nights.
Well, yep. So that's an issue.
Yeah, I want to play sport on the weekends.
Yep. Well,
probably not going to do that.
Yep.
I really value my marriage. And I want to see my kids grow up. So probably not going to go back to QBS.
I think that's some of the advice I told you. Like, And I don't shy away from it either when people ask me, or even when recruits ask me. But when you said, should I have another crack? I think I laid it out here. I'm like, mate, you've got a young family, young kid. You've got your sport. You're enjoying life. What's the point? Because you just got to, have to drop your pay while you're a recruit, especially, and shift work. You're not going to see your family as much when you can go and do other things, which, now is what we want to talk to you about. How did you get into the path of going down Mates4Mates? Can you explain to us what Mates4Mates is first?
So it's called an ESO. It's an organisation primarily funded by the RSL. So we work with veterans and their families, anyone kind of impacted by their service. So as you know, if you've served in the army, you're impacted one way or the other.
Yeah.
So people come up, you can sign up. Doesn't matter if you've done 3 months at Kapuka or 30 years. It's free. And really, we've got all our clinical psych services and whatnot, but my role predominantly is for social connection. So a lot of guys, like we were saying, get out of the army, they have nothing. Well, not nothing, but they're lacking a social side of it, or they're just missing hanging out with like-minded people.
Yep.
So we just literally pretty much plan activities. I'm pretty much a glorified event planner. So every week, I take a group of guys to Mount Keith to do a bushwalk and have coffee.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, some of them are retirees, and they may have moved interstate after their service. They don't have that friendship connection that they had. We've got some young guys that have been posted up north, who are originally from Brisbane, moved back. All their friends have moved on. They just want to reconnect, which is really good. And then and their families as well. So we do school holiday stuff. And it's not like the veteran doesn't have to always join. Your partner and kids can, so that if you're deployed, they still have that network there that they can get help from.
We've mentioned that with Madison before. Remember she was saying how there's really nothing for families.
Yeah.
And we try and kind of incorporate the families in, we do school holidays activities, and it's with other families that are in the same situation.
Yeah.
So like I said, not everyone's broken. In that regards, that they're all kind of seeing psych or med discharge. We got heaps of guys that just leave on their own free will, that just want to have that connection that they might not be able to get in the civvy street.
Yeah.
And not necessarily people that haven't let go. They just like hanging around with other vets. So
they just miss those kinds of people, or that kind of culture a little bit.
Yeah, so we literally, most of our activities, we literally just talk smack the whole time. And it's not always about army. You do get onto those topics, but a lot of times politics or just feeding each other. And it's good because you got Army, Navy, Air Force.
Yep.
So some of the old dudes will be Navy, some of the other ones will be Air Force. They'll be paying each other out, and then we'll be like, oh, Army's better, and then they're just like, and and we're just all about that social side, building people up, getting them comfortable in their social connection, building friendship circles, and then kind of not an end goal, but if someone comes to us, starts incorporating, gets comfortable, if they are then able to then leave and do their own thing on their own, that's a win for us. Because a lot of guys, when they leave, they don't have much. So if we can then get them into a circle, build them up, get them confident around a social side, they feel better to go and get another job. They feel better to go and meet people, go out in public. So
is it pretty much just guys coming to you, or do you have people that are referred to you that you reach out to who are struggling a bit as well? Or
so majority of the time it's they come to us.
Yep.
We'll go and do defence hubs where we go to base with other soldier on, young vets, stuff like that. But predominantly it's people making that first step, going, hey, what are you guys about? And we'll ring them up, say, look, this is what we do, this is what we offer. Sign up online or come into the centre. We've got a drop-in centre at Milton, so pretty much come in, have a brew, talk smack. We've got kitchens, we've got gym you can use. We've got all these facilities that not a lot of people know about. There's that stigma that, it's one of those veterans organisations that are just going to take my money up and leave.
Yeah.
Or because people have been burnt in the past.
There's a bit of a, like, just for myself, like, there is a bit of a, an idea out there about, like, a lot of veteran organisations like that don't really do a lot for the people they're meant to be helping. Because, like, I know for myself, like, that's the hardest part is actually, like, getting out of the house, especially going to meet new people that you don't know. Like, even this morning when I left, like, I was looking at my watch and I'm sitting on, like, 120 with my heart rate, like, just the anxiety and shit. And I wish I would have went, but during my PTSD course, they actually went out, I think, to Mates4Mates, I'm not sure which one. And I wish I would have went because, like, when the guys came back and were telling me about it, I was like, oh, holy shit, these guys actually do stuff that, like, I would be interested in participating and going and joining in.
Yeah. And we do, like I was saying to the boys before, there's a lot more, from when we left to now, there's a lot more transition stuff. So we offer, like, skills for recovery. So we do yoga in the session twice a week. Yeah. And it's not, let's see how flexible you can get. It's called sleepy yoga. So it's a dark room, proper yoga teacher, and it's like a relaxation technique. Yep. So you literally lay down because a lot of the boys have trouble getting to sleep. So this is pretty much teaching you how to put yourself to sleep.
That's good.
So it's like lay down, a couple of little stretches here, but just being about mindfulness, just slow down. Nothing else matters in this point in time. Like, and it's stuff like that we didn't have or didn't know about.
Yeah.
And we're trying to branch out as much as we can because a lot of dudes don't know about, like, what these organisations have to offer.
No, they don't.
So it's all about, at the moment, it's word of mouth and trying to overcome that stigma of, oh, it's another veteran organisation that's funded and they literally just take money and do nothing. And people go, oh, you're funded by the RSL. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, we are, but we don't see any money from any of the pokies or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like, we're actually, our funding's from legit kind of the side of it, and we don't piss it up the wall. Like, because we're not, like, we don't charge you to join.
Yeah.
Activities are free. So whatever we kind of get is straight back into them.
So when someone first makes contact, like, what's the process or the step? They make contact, you have a chat with them, and then what dictates the first thing they'll do or activity?
So give us a call or come in or sign up. So fill in the online thing. We'll be in contact with you. And then one of our counsellors will give them a call or do an induction. And it's pretty much just a sit-down chat like we're having now. And you say, look, this is kind of what I need, what I'm after. I'm only here for this, here for that. And they're like, sweet. They'll then push you in the right direction. So we've got clinical side as well. So we've got psychs with us. We've got exercise physiologists. So if you need that, then they'll book into that side of things. Yep. If you're there purely for social connection, you then have access to coming along to any event you want, just RSVP, and you're just a mate then. So we sign you in, give you a free T-shirt, and just come along to any activities. So, but it's literally just taking that first step to just go and have a look on the website and joining up. Costs you nothing. Yep. We don't hassle you. We give you a follow-up call maybe a month later. Yep. And literally, hey, checking in, how you going? Is there anything that we can offer you? What are you keen on? And usually it's, I've got kids. Like, I didn't know that was coming up. That sounds sweet. Like, so I think this weekend they're taking something like 45 people to sea life up the sunny coast.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So getting kids out, and it's something for the families.
So it's like a big family event.
Yeah. Huge
That's
family
awesome.
event. Costs them nothing.
Yep.
Just come along. I think they're going to the trampolining. I think there's something like 35 people for that.
Yep.
So, but it's just about getting people involved.
Yeah. And so what's your role? What's the name of your
So I'm a liaison officer.
Liaison. And are there most liaison officers ex-military?
Yes, so everyone has some form of defence background.
That's good. So because I know you know how to talk to those guys. I wasn't sure if every one of your liaison officers come from that culture.
Yeah.
Because obviously there's a way we all talk.
Yeah, and which when they interview you, that's kind of why they screen that. So even like our EPs, they've got some form of military background as well. And it's not necessarily about talking the shop, but people feel more comfortable.
Yeah. Not
a clinical kind of clinician just going black and white.
Yeah.
We kind of add that jadedness, not jadedness, but the army lingo, and
You feel understood.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
That's makes such a difference because I know the first few psychs that I talked to, I was just getting so frustrated because you'd be trying to explain something and you'd have to stop every minute to explain what you were talking about because they just didn't understand. I mean, they were doing their best to try and understand, but it wasn't until later on when, you know, I got lucky enough to have specialists who had either served or worked very, very closely with military that I was able to run through my shit and not have to be stopped, and it made it so much easier.
Yeah.
And the best thing about our psychs as well, it's non-reporting to defence.
Oh, okay.
So you can still join us. You can still be serving. We've got a lot of guys that are still serving that are getting help. And as long as you're not a flight risk, if you just need to have a chat with someone or get some psych help, you can, and we don't report that to defence. So people can come in without the fear of thinking that they're going to get med discharged we need to let people know about that as well, because guys can come in, get help through the DVA with referral, and as long as it's all good, defence will never know about it, which is good because you can still go back to your job then, which is what a lot of people...
That's always been the
If
stigma.
they had have got that massive hurdle for a lot
if they had have got that initial treatment and the skills to recovery in place, they could have still kept soldiering, but they either don't get the help and it snowballs and then they've got no other option, or they just keep it in and it's not healthy.
Yeah.
So we get we got guys that are still in, guys that are transitioning to different corps, guys getting med discharged out, or we've got all walks of life.
When you do you said you went to Nogga the other day, was it? Was it like an information night or something?
So 6RR, back to the old stomping ground, they're going to Malaysia.
Yep.
So the CEO put on an info night pretty much for families. Yeah. So we were there with the RSL, the Sally Man, all the other organisations. He does his spiel about what they're going to do, and then literally afterwards we go up and we do a 3-minute yarn. They've changed it so much. I remember we used to do death by PowerPoint on the Salvation Army is here for you when you're in need. And it's nah. We go up 3 minutes.
Yep.
Mates4Mates, this is what we offer. We're up the back. Come see us.
Yep.
And that's all all the other organisations did that. So it was over within 20 minutes.
Yep.
Boys are on the beers. Come up, have a yarn with you. Yep. Do you want to sign on? Yep. Sweet.
Everyone that's there, do they have to be there, or they've chosen to come along?
Chose to be there. So
how many do you get?
I think we had, from that night, I think it might have been, say, 10 individuals ranging from serving and families.
Yep.
So we had heaps of people with kids come up because it was mainly a family night.
Yep.
So, guys that kind of, look, I'm going away, the wife's new to Brisbane, because a lot of the time you post in and you don't know. So, school activities coming up. Mrs. is like, sweet, I've got someone to go to. And then, we've got all that. So we're doing another one soon for them because the other half of Delta's going to Malaysia as well.
Oh, okay.
So
you had a fair few guys come up and
want to
know more.
So we do a few of those things. We went to another one on base the other day. And it's that was more of just a drop-in.
Yeah.
So one of our teams up at, I think, Noosa this weekend, depending on where we do it, is targeted to either still serving or ex-serving kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
that's what I was curious to know. When we used to get these talks and stuff, there was, you said it before, a bit of jadedness. When someone would come up and here we go again.
And they'd flog the dead horse.
Yeah. But now you're finding that your audience, let's say current serving, is that audience more receptive and want to know more?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, as you know, with young dudes, you give them 3 minutes and give them a brief overview, they're going to come and ask questions.
Yeah.
Whereas you go up there for 40 minutes and answer every question that you think they're going to ask,
there's no
they're not going to come back. Why would I bother
sense.
that? Oh, you go, right, we've got school holidays activities. Oh, okay. They come up to you. What do you got on? What do you got on? Not, we're going to do this, and this, and this, and this, and this. And they're like, oh, my kids aren't going to be interested in that at all.
Yeah.
So the fact that we plant the seed for them to actually come up and ask questions off their own bat means that there is that spark there that goes, all right, and they come up and then we just talk shop with them.
That's what I was going to say. No, especially with someone like you, you've got a pretty big personality and, you're a good dude to talk to. I think when you're talking to that group and you give them that limited information of we're doing stuff on school holidays, when they come and talk to you, you can personalize how you talk to each person, engage with them a bit, make them feel more comfortable on an individual level, and then it probably, like you said, puts a spark in their head, like, oh, maybe I do want to do a bit more.
Yeah, and that's
learn more about this.
I think that's a good thing about having people that are defence based as well working for us.
Yeah,
we're the warm kind of, like, you go, not like other organisations are old crusty dudes.
Yep,
and I'm a young guy. I want to get engaged with other young guys.
Yep.
Oh, you've only got this to offer. Whereas, like, we're trying to get heaps of young guys in now, trying to break that stigma, get everyone in so that we do have all ages, so that people feel like, oh, there's actually guys my age that I can talk to, relate to, young families that are having kids, that they can form relationships with people that have infants the same age. Like, not just, oh, it's only 80-year-old dudes that are coming here, Vietnam vets that are at a different stage in life that you can't relate to. So
when you went in, was it you guys that set up as like a bit of a barbecue or something with
Oh, well, we're at Eden Seal Hotel.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, they had bar tab and everything. And
so that's a great way to, like, suck people into. If you go, boys, righto, we're going to set up in one of the rooms on base, and you think, fuck, death by fucking bell. I'm not fucking going to this.
They got a half day. They're like, look, half day knock, come to Eden Seal tonight. There's a bar tab.
Yeah. Not going.
I heard it and I'm like, I'm going, like. Dry organisation, so we're not allowed to be a part of that. But, yeah, we just, and it's, just about being comfortable. Not rocking up in suits like, this is what we've got to offer, this is this,
because then you have that, you guys, us and them.
Yeah, it's not a faceless organisation. It's like, oh, if you're the type of person I'm going to be dealing with in this organisation, then fuck yeah, I want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll make 6 hours. Oh, sweet, when were you in? Yeah. So, no, that was good. That's where we're all about, kind of getting out in the community and doing that. So
what, like, for you, when you're at work, what's a typical day for you? Because I can imagine it's not all events every day. Like, in the office, what do you primarily...
So, first ever office job I've really had. Yeah. Well, not office job, but... So, first thing, roll in, do a bit of admin stuff, depending on the day.
No PT, mate?
Yeah.
Can you use the gym there?
I can use the gym. Yeah. So, first half of the week, depending on what we've got planned, is usually like an admin-y kind of role. And then rolling into the end of the week, Thursday mornings, rock up, cruise out to Mount Cootha, meet a bunch of guys and girls, do a walk for a couple of hours, have a coffee, come back in the afternoon, do a bit of admin-y stuff. Same with Friday, we do a bike ride, coffee.
Oh, that's every Friday?
Yeah,
it's just you as the staff or
staff and mates.
Oh, wow, okay.
So every Friday morning we have pancake brekkie. So people roll, there's PT, then pancake brekkie. So everyone can come in, it's all free, just roll in, have a feed.
Yep.
Some guys are still serving, so they come get a feed and go to work, vice versa. And then heap of them just hang around and we go and do a bike ride up the river for a couple of hours, get coffee and come back. So...
Sounds all right.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have to, we might have to go out.
Yeah.
Just to film it, you know.
Yeah.
I think so. We'll make it on the pancake brekkie day.
Get a bit of a plug. But like during the day, like I said, it's a drop-in centre for the mates to feel comfortable. So we've got people coming in and out for appointments. We've got a big couched area sitting in the middle. So they come in, we just go and have a sit with them, have a yarn.
Yep.
We've got guys that come in and use the gym, come up, have a yarn to us. We're doing inductions all the time, so walking around, showing people the place. So there's always something going on. Yeah. It's not always just behind a computer.
Yep.
We're always planning new events. We're going to, like, Keith Payne unit for the...
Green slopes?
Yeah. So we're always going out and doing that. We're always out doing defence hubs. So...
Is there an app or anything... for people to connect?
No, not so much an app.
Website?
It's a website, so mates4mates.org. Got everything on there. So we've got a closed Facebook group as well.
Okay.
Not closed, but you have to join it. And that has everything that we've got coming up on it. Yeah. So we've got centres in Darwin, Townsville, Brizzy and Hobart. Mm-hmm. And we do online stuff. So people that are in Canberra or Perth can still tap into what we have to offer.
Yep. What is the online stuff?
So we do online yoga. So same as what we do. We've got a yoga teacher in like a setting like this, and I think it's Wednesday nights, I think. So she just does yoga for an hour, and you just pop your laptop with your Zoom call with your yoga mat out and
that's all right.
your
That's
pillow.
Fucking great.
Because some people aren't able to get in the centre.
Well, this is what I'm thinking with him moving away. I'm really worried about him moving away.
Yeah, so you can tap into that. They do an online coffee group. So I think it's every Tuesday morning for an hour. Yeah. You literally get a brew, sit in front of your laptop and talk to 20 people, and it's just like a big hen's nest. Just, and they just, it's good to go. We do school holidays activities for kids online.
Yep.
So the kids will register, and what we'll do is it might be like Steve was doing rock art. So like with pebbles and stuff. I don't know how it works. So he had 20 bags of rocks that he posts out to all the kids so that they log into the Zoom call with this art teacher and they just follow along online doing this art class.
That's awesome.
That's
See, and this is what you were saying before. So many people don't know what you guys do.
Yeah.
I had no idea that that's kind of where this is heading.
Yeah, so we're trying to, and we've got such a big veteran community.
Yeah.
And we can't reach them all. Like, we're trying to get as many people incorporated as we can. Like, it'd be awesome if we could have someone in every state, but we can't.
Yeah.
Hopefully, eventually down the track, that'll be the case. Like, we're expanding to Ipswich now because Ipswich has the highest density of veterans in South Queensland. Yeah, because you've got Amberley, which reaches out to Toowoomba, which reaches out to Oakey. So, so we're starting that because we're just trying to fill the needs that people have. So I'm starting Gold Coast. So I'll be going down there once or twice a week doing activities, and we've just started Sunny Coast. But then you go the areas, so Sunny Coast could be anywhere from Bribie to Gympie. So huge area for one person.
How many are you staffing wise? Are you keeping up?
We are.
Yeah.
But how many's too many or how many's not enough? We could have 40 LOs and probably still not have enough in some regards. Like, we're running activities every week, but the more the better. It's just, it all comes down to funding and office space, I guess.
Yeah.
So like, if you could, like, we could have a veterans chapter down at Gold Coast. You could have 10 dudes working down there and probably still need more. Who knows?
Yeah.
But it's also good that we're trying to work with like young veterans, wounded warriors and stuff like that. Yep. Trying to work together to build up this veteran community.
Because it could be wrong, but my impression has been for a long time that each of these organisations are very isolated and they're all trying to get their own slice of the pie in terms of what they want to do and whatnot. But it seems to me that like we're all trying to achieve, like you guys are all trying to achieve a similar goal. Like networking between you guys and pooling resources would be like the best way to go.
And that's the thing. Like, we want to, going down to the Gold Coast, we have to be mindful that we're not stepping on toes. Like, I don't want to go down there and have a coffee catch up every fortnight and the diggers down there have a coffee catch up on the same day with the RSL. Yep. And I'm going down there and I'm like, hey, I'm down here at this time. Oh, I've got something else. And making them choose. Like, we don't want that.
Yeah.
We want to keep everyone kind of, because people get into routines and people don't want to break routines. Yeah. So if we can go down there and say, look, this is what we offer. We're going to do on this day. They go, sweet, I don't have anything on that day. And it fills their week up. And it's a different circle of people still achieving the same goal, I guess. And we're trying to work as much as we can with everyone else and kind of liaise with the RSL because they're really good with it. And just all the different organisations, like you said, they're either isolated or people go, oh, I'm with Soldier On.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know much about Mates4Mates, but I know I'm Soldier On, so I'm just going to stay
This is
with
what
them.
Sean Barry spoke to us about ages ago with when you get, and I think Michael Hanley from Red 6 app spoke about it too, that once you start trying to do something in the veteran space, everyone becomes so protective of their group.
Oh, yeah.
He said, Shane, like, we're all trying to achieve the same goal, like share resources.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, I mean, like you're saying, if there's already groups like Soldier On or something's got a big following in the Gold Coast, be like, oh, sweet. If you live in the Gold Coast, man, what I'll do is I'll direct you to Soldier On and, you know.
And that's the same. Like, we're all about giving praise to other organisations. And, like, we don't actually offer that, but they do.
Yeah.
So, like, in this current time, we're not doing anything with equine therapy, but other agencies are. So we might...
Oh, is that...
Working with horses. Yeah, really good.
Old wooden ship.
yeah. Rusty. So someone might ring up and say, hey, look, really keen to get into this. Oh, sorry, we don't actually offer that, but these guys do.
Yeah.
Or push them in the right direction for that, in the hope that if they go to someone else that they don't offer, then they will push them to us.
Yeah.
And that's where we need to form those links to build everyone up. So not just, we don't offer it, no one else does, and try and keep your members as your members.
Yeah. Which would be pointless because you're not helping the individual.
Exactly.
Oh, we don't have horses, but I can send you a picture of a horse.
Yeah.
And keep you with us.
Go to
Will that suffice, sir?
There's a blow-up horse at Woolies. Like, go and get it and ride it yourself. And it's, people get protective, and I understand that, but that's not the purpose behind it.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether people are different, but we're all about helping and bettering people. Our end goal is to you creating your own support network and not needing us.
Yeah.
Like, some people always need that social connection, or people will always need treatment. It's just the nature of the beast. But if we can get guys that come in that use us for what we're offering, I guess, not use us, but take part, and then can then stand on your own and freely do life, that's what we want.
Yeah.
So,
and I guess at the same time, even if they can't go off and stand on their own and want to, go, oh, thank you, I think I'm good now. If they still stay connected with you guys, but are still in a good place, that's fucking win still.
Exactly.
Anyway.
Yeah. And that's the main thing. We want people to get to that headspace because the main thing is, if you're in the right headspace, it allows you to do your other recoveries. If someone doesn't feel comfortable leaving the house and they've got musculoskeletal injuries or other injuries they need treatment, but they're not keen to leave the house, they're never going to get the treatment for the physical side of it. So if we can build up their mental side of it and the physical at the same time, then that's a win. So, and a lot of people come in, might have a psych appointment, but they'll come in and do like the Mount Cootha walk first, and then they stay for their appointment or something like that. So,
have you had many guys, I know you've only been there a short amount of time, but guys that you've seen regularly a few times at activities, and from day one to where they are now, there's been an improvement with themselves?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
And that's even like, I only started doing the Mount Cootha walks probably 5 weeks ago.
Yeah.
From the start, kind of, the harder the walk, the more they, like fitness-wise, their fitness has just come leaps and bounds.
Yeah.
Like, it used to be kind of everyone gets in their bubble and their clique groups, and we're walking and you might have 3 different groups of the same people, whereas now it's like you come to a hill and they just charge on, and they're even just, the bonds that I've built over that, even the last month, of dudes that used to either complain or not complain, but, another hill. Now they're just like powering on. They get to the top and they're just like good to go. And I'm like, gee whiz, like you're smashing it. Like, and we saw it the other week. I almost killed a bunch of old dudes. I went for this.
Is this something they can expect?
So we've got this app where you can, like, at Mount Cootha, all these trails.
Yeah.
And Mount Cootha has their own map. And I was like, I've got an app called All Trails that has maps on it as well. I was like, okay, I'll go A to B to C to D. And when we got there, I used the app, I didn't use the Cootha one. And the track that was on there wasn't actually on the ground. Like, I don't know what it was. So I've got a bunch of dudes behind me that I've only known for 3 weeks that are like, this guy knows what he's doing. And I'm like, there's no trail here. So we went up this like wallaby scrub track for like 200 meters, and all these like vets are like, what is this dude doing? Found this other track, and I was like, see, I knew it was there all along. And they're like, oh yeah. Went along, and then we literally got to like stand 11. Do you remember that? And this track was straight up, and they're just like, what are you doing to us? And I was just like, oh yeah, like it's not that far. And like we were walking up, and like people had to walk side to side to get up it. There's like little footprints in the hill to get up it. And I've got dudes that have got like at that stage in life where they use walking poles, like walking sticks for trekking. And I'm just like, sorry. And they're getting like 20 meters, having to stop for 2 minutes, 20 meters, having to stop.
And I like your commitment that you made a decision and you said, I'm finishing this through.
Yeah, and then afterwards I'm like, see guys, how good was that? Like the last couple of weeks have been a lead up for that. And they're just like...
all part of our grand plan.
Yeah, it was a team building exercise.
You're Mates4Mates, you can do a selection course to get in.
But after that, like just seeing how they bonded together, like just to help each other, and their rings were hanging out. Like they come for a nice social walk, and I've just punished them. But to get up there, like they all work together, and that's all what we're all about.
Yeah.
Like, and we had new guys, we had older guys.
So in a way, you accidentally,
Oh,
taught them
yeah.
some life lessons.
Yeah, smashed them and got them working well together. And now we're doing stuff that they weren't comfortable doing a month ago, but now that I've broken that barrier that, I can do that, like there's a friggin' hard track.
Yeah.
Like on Thursday we did this other one, and they're like, that wasn't as bad as the other week. So, because I made them do the worst track in Mount Cootha. So, but no, that's what and we're trying to get more and more people along, trying to get younger guys out. And the hard thing is a lot of the activities we run during the week.
Yep.
And for guys like us, we got out and we got other professions.
Yeah.
And that's the hard thing, that they can't tap into what we have to offer all the time because it is during the week. So
do you work weekends?
We do some weekend activities.
Yep.
But the hard thing is people can make it weekends, but then that's our weekend. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like it's that work-life balance. We do a Monday night barbecue. Okay. So every Monday night.
Where's that at?
At Milton.
So at
the centre, drop in.
Man, we're gonna have to go out there.
Yeah, dude.
You got to sign up and be a mate, but.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
It's free. It takes you 5 minutes to sign up.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Well,
you get a free T-shirt too.
Oh, beautiful.
So, but yeah, so we just have a barbecue, cup of Cokes, have a yarn, and we always get like the best tucker. And we run some nights, we do a community cooking class.
Oh, wow.
So the other week they did pizzas. So they literally made the pizza from the dough, and made it. We've got a Mexican night coming up, so they'll do that. So some after hours stuff is good.
Yeah.
We're doing a trivia night. I'm going to run that.
Oh, that's cool.
So,
when's that?
Yes.
I think it's going to be August sometime.
Yep.
So it's on the same night as
that.
And the best thing is it's the same night as the community cooking class. So they actually cook a feed and we leech off them. so we'll have our trivia night, and in our intermission we'll get their feed and do that. So we're trying to do as much as we can kind of after hours, but it is hard when people have families as well. So, and we're trying to do like a Gold Coast. I'm trying to do stuff on the weekends down there as much as I can for the vets down that way, and the same with the Sunny Coast.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Mate, that's awesome.
I'm sure people are going to think that we've set this up, but that's listening to your spiel about what you guys actually do. This is the first time listening, because I've listened to a bunch of these different presentations from other organisations, but the first time holy fuck, I actually want to get in and be a part of this.
Yeah. And that's when we were in, we didn't know any of that.
When we were in, was there anything like this?
Well, I don't know. There was always kind of, I guess, soldier on and young veterans, I think.
Was that around then?
Well, I don't know. We never had anyone come out to us.
Yeah.
Or if we did, we had that death by PowerPoint and we paid it off.
Yeah.
So we probably had bulk spiels about it. We just didn't pay any attention to it. So.
It obviously wasn't engaging with
it.
us.
A whole day of death by PowerPoint.
Yes.
And
yeah.
an hour into it, you're like, fuck me. I just want to go. And you don't take anything in or...
No. We're going to the Blamey Centre. Oh, here we go. There's the first tick in the box for that one. And then you've got old crusty dudes that are just like, this is what you have on offer. And, when's Smoko? Oh, we've got a dub break yet. And then, we could have had it. We just didn't take it on.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of, we want to try and get out there as much as we can to get people coming in.
And it's I know we get a lot of... There's young vets that listen to our podcast. You're watching now, listening. Take it in. Start thinking about,
Oh, yeah.
Start thinking about the future, because you're not going to be in the army forever.
No.
Well, if you are, that's gross.
If you are, you shouldn't be. But, look after your welfare. And it can start now, even if you're not feeling anything. Why not hook into Mates4Mates and do some of these things?
You touched on it earlier, and it's exactly what's happened to me is I've just pushed through for so long that I've just gotten to the point where I'm not completely fucking broken, but I'm at a point where I just don't want to fucking do anything and mentally and all that shit. And if I would have, if this would have kind of maybe existed in the way that you've described it earlier on, and you start engaging with it early on, that's what will make all the difference. Because if you keep fucking bottling everything up, then you're just going to get to a point where you can't do your fucking job anymore.
As I'm hearing you talk about what you guys are doing, I'm thinking of Shane going, this is the stuff that would be a perfect example.
And the thing that was sucking me in the most is these walks. I've got to do a fair bit of physio first, but once I'm back, like, fuck, man, I would be so keen to, that's, like, one of my favourite things to do is doing fucking hikes. Like,
That and you've got a young family, dude. The
Yeah.
family stuff to do.
Yeah,
Like, where are you going up
100%.
the coast? Has that already happened?
Yeah, so that's this weekend. Like, but people can join for the next. Like, we're always 2 months in advance. So our next set of school holiday stuff for September will be coming out soon.
Yeah, like if we took our families along with that, that's perfect, mate.
But the thing is, it's like, even if you don't join for yourself, join for your family. Let them, like, they can still join off their own back without, like, you knowing. Like, they're a defence family. So, and they're, like, just having you in, they're obviously impacted by service because they've had to follow you around. That's an impact. So, and even, like, some of the stuff we do, wellness courses. So like a 1-day wellness where they go kayaking or sailing. So they'll go with a counsellor. They'll kind of teach you a couple of mindfulness things. Then you get out and do the activity and put it into place. And then they do a 3-day wellness intensive. So a lot of skills for recovery. They do yoga. They do kind of like little seminars. But it's within a closed group. And it's just about building people up, give them the tools to kind of combat what they've got going on or what they could have going, like could eventually face. So it's all about just putting a foot in the door and getting the ball rolling. Like, and we're not gonna pester you. We're not gonna like, oh, hey, can you donate or can you volunteer for this? Literally, you sign up, you get a free T-shirt, and if we don't hear from you, like, we're not gonna call you.
Yeah.
Like, it's all purely off you. Like, I think
it's how much do you want to do or how little.
Yeah,
you want
I think as of yesterday, we're looking at kind of how many active members we've got to kind of how many total members we've got. I think we've got like something like 5,200 members Australia-wide.
Yeah.
And then it was like, say, 500 active members.
Yep.
So, which is someone engaging in a Thursday walk or something like that.
Yeah.
So we've got over 4,000 people that are mates that can still have access to everything, but just are either dormant or they're happy where they are. Like, So... But the main thing is that, it doesn't cost you anything. Yeah. And a lot of people are out there like, oh, I need to buy the app. Or we've got this sweet veteran program, but it's $30 to become a member. And you're like, hang on here, no. Like, yeah.
Well, I think we should definitely go out there and do something, get on board.
Absolutely.
So where can everyone find the information? What's the easiest point of contact?
Just jump online, mates4mates.org.
Yep.
I'll throw the links up. Hopefully I'll remind me.
I'm going to remind you.
Or
we keep forgetting to throw the links up whenever we mention something. Shame.
Or you can just give us a call in the centre.
Yep.
And usually...
Personally ask for Leighton.
Shit. I heard this dude on a podcast. Usually it'll go to our reception, or if not, it filters down to us on the floor. So you're talking to a vet straight away.
Yeah.
And it's like, or send an email and we'll call you. Like, well, I get it all the time. We give follow-up calls like, hey, this is where I am. I'm interested in what services you got. We'll just give them a call.
Yep.
And literally the scope of what we can do for activities, as long as it's not going to hurt you, we can do whatever we want.
Yeah.
Like, we're doing beekeeping. We're doing worm farming. Like, they got a bonsai tree workshop coming up. Literally just some of the most random stuff.
Knowing my background, mate. That'd be
the bonsai. We need an instructor for it. So, but they're doing a classics by candlelight. So we're going into the yoga space that we have, heaps of candles, and you just chill out and listen to classical music for a couple of hours.
Holy hell!
Just chilling out, and it's not for everyone. And it's the same with trivia.
But that's
Trivia's
why you have
not for
so
everyone.
many different activities.
Yeah.
Something's going to be for you. Do you guys do like?
We do resin art. We do leather working. We do we engage with men's sheds.
Yep.
Which is cool because we're helping them, they're helping us. Yep. So it's a mutual connection there, and we send guys along to that kind of stuff. We went to.
Do you guys do like overnight stays or camps or anything yet? Yeah.
So we do. They did the Brisbane Valley Rail Trail this year. We're looking at doing a weekend hike, so an overnight hike. We do a couple of other things. Usually it's maybe a couple a year, just because it's so the planning involved in it. And you need the staff. Yeah. So usually it's, say, 3 or 4 staff involved. So, but we're going to the air show. So we're doing stuff like that. We're putting in a team for Bridge to Brisbane as well. So if anyone wants to sign up, and Mates4Mates is actually one of the main beneficiaries now of Bridge to Brisbane, which is cool. So sign up and just join our team. So and come
Mate,
along and
that's
run with
perfect.
us. So which would be pretty cool.
We will, we're going to put up all the links and everything.
Yeah.
Just to wrap up, mate, now you've been doing this job, you personally, do you feel different within yourself now? You've actually kind of come full circle, left the army, but now you're in a role where you're helping people. Like, I know you struggle with, should I join the cops? What should I do?
Yeah, like going from infantry to then tradie
Yep.
to now into this environment where there's women, children, different walks of life. It's like I've had to tone back, and it's been hard. Like just the diverse environment where I can't just drop the F-bomb all the time.
Yeah.
Like you can in some environments, but you just have to be so mindful.
Yeah.
But now I've got a different mindset that it's not, everyone's a sack. They're just out to leech off the system. Like what we were kind of like.
Yeah, well, yeah, we're guilty of thinking that all the time.
Yeah, Hallway Dick Jones, yeah, sweet. Like it's like people actually have issues, and majority, like we were saying before, they join us, so they're not made to be there. So everyone that we deal with has realised that they have something that they need help with, and that's it's not just people coming in to leech off us. Yeah, like we saw in the army where people would just go for a paycheck and
what you guys are doing now, that sounds so good. It's
amazing.
Free, it's all activity based and everything.
Yeah.
Leighton, thanks for joining us, mate.
Thanks for having me.
Guys, Mates4Mates, look it up online. I'm assuming you guys are on Facebook, Instagram, everything like that.
We'll throw the links up. I definitely will. Like
Shane promises to throw the links. It's good to be back firing back-to-back episodes.
Yeah.
So thank you, Shane, for turning up as well. I really appreciate it.
I ran out of excuses.
And thank you to Susan, Brewing Wine Studio, for having us, our new studios for now. That wraps it up for episode 21. So until next time, Male Adjusted Monkeys, we're out.